as the strains of Freed from Desire waft on the early evening May Day breeze across Gander Green Lane, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Strikers Are Key, Draw 18, and have we got an evening in store for you? I hope you all enjoyed on the live stream today. Another terrific performance by the team. Back-to-back wins at Gander Green Lane, just what the doctor ordered. 1-0 on Tuesday against Barnet, 3-1 against Aldershot today, and, ladies and gentlemen, 2 goals from designated strikers. Now, we all know what that means, don't we? 7 consecutive draws where our old friend, the parsimonious safe, remained uncracked. Is tonight gonna be the night? Well, we're going to find out any moment now, ladies and gentlemen. How much is in the safe, just to remind you all? Well, last time out, Barnet on Tuesday evening, we said surely someone's going to be in 7th heaven. But no, unopened again. 7 consecutive draws. The old safe, you're not coming in here. Oh no. Is it going to be 8th time lucky? This is a record, a Strikers Are Key record, I tell you all. Never in the history of Strikers Are Key have we had 7 consecutive blanks. Can't happen again, surely. Or can it? The odds are always the same. And that's the beauty of this draw, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? But of course, what it means is that the money just keeps rolling over and rolling over. And then we score goals and there's even more being added to it. So how much have we got in the safe, ladies and gentlemen, this evening? Well, let me tell you, let me put you out of your misery. It is the princely sum, after the 2 goals scored today by Donovan Wilson, and obviously in the second half by Isaac Olafe, just to allay those fears in the last 15 minutes of the game. Total in the safe, £2,250. So, the biggest question of all, who is it who's going to come and be the Strikers Are Key draw maker for you this evening? Well, we haven't doubled up on anybody, and I'm delighted to be able to say to you that on draw 18, that principle remains. Coming from left stage in a moment is a gentleman who is behind the scenes more at Sutton United, as we'll explain in a moment, but an extremely important official to ensure that matches can be staged, either with or without crowds. And we'll ask him in a minute how he's found that difference this season, because doing the draw on your behalf this evening, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me enormous pleasure to welcome from the left our ground safety officer, wearing the club tie and the blue jacket kind of loosely hanging off this evening in a kind of little chiffon number almost. Coming from the left side, put them together for, it's Mr. Mike Chenery! Come on! Michael, lovely to see you. Now finally, we've got you on board. 18th draw, and you've always been too busy. Yep. I had to book you in this time round. You said, I can do the 1st of May. And I said, you're in.
I think I'm going to sack my tailor though.
Well, I think that's the new style, that kind of, tighter look. That kind of more, figure hugging kind of, yeah. Lovely to see you though. Welcome along. We're all just delighted after another victory today, 2 wins this week. It's obviously fantastic, 6 games to go. Welcome to the stage. And ground safety officer, how long have you done that for us now?
I've been doing it for Sutton for, I think this is just over my 3rd season. But I've also done it at Woking before then.
Yeah,
and sort of supported, done a lot of stewarding at other grounds, Fulham, Reading, and all over the place really.
And I have to ask the question, because you've obviously done it for 3 seasons. This is the 1st season where we haven't had crowds in. In a couple of weeks' time, keep those fingers crossed, we'll have people in. Thank the Lord for that. But how different is it to manage a stadium on a safety perspective without anyone in, as opposed to when they are in?
From a safety point of view, it's not too much different, because you've got to do all the pre-checks beforehand and afterwards and everything. But it is, I do actually miss the crowds as well, like I think the whole club does. So it's nice to have the crowds there. but sometimes they can cause issues, especially if there's sort of a confrontation between the supporters. But generally speaking, there's not too much difference because we have to do all the checks to make sure everyone's safe, the players, officials are safe, so I still briefing the referees and everything before the game, and so a lot of the work's, like you said, is being carried on in the background and people don't see.
Huge amount of work behind the scenes.
And yeah, and obviously we liaise with the police as well, see if there's any issues coming from their way, so there's a lot of work to it.
And I have to ask, what's the view like from the old cabin? Are you up there the whole time watching the game from the blue cabin? Is that your vantage point as you peer and look around and see what's going on?
I spend the whole game up there, mainly looking at the crowds, when we have the crowds in, and obviously the CCTV, so that we can make sure there's no people, because in the first few games you had a few people trying to get in through some of the gates, and make sure everyone's sort of behaving. And when we did have the crowds in for those couple of games, I think it's December, making sure people were socially distancing and things like that. And yeah, it's good fun and enjoy it, and I think it's be nice when we get the supporters back.
Won't it just? We can't wait.
Yep.
Strikers are key apart from anything else. Getting heckled on a chair, that's what it's all about, Mike. And you could be there now, being on that chair with a 3-1 win. Imagine the state of the bar this evening. But
well, especially if the table collapsed.
And your history as well with Woking before. You obviously you're aware of your Sutton United connections. You're aware of the history of the club going back way when.
Yeah, I mean, many years ago the year I was born, Sutton and Woking used to play each other.
Well, what, in the 1980s or something like that?
It was around about the 1980s now. In 1966-67 season.
Championship season, was it not, for Sutton?
It was. Spookily enough, it was Sutton actually won the Eastman League. I think it was for the first time under Sid Can.
Sid Can, yeah.
So it's ironic that I end up here as well.
Here we go. There you go.
So
It was meant. It was fate. It was fate. Listen, I could chat all night, but we won't on this occasion. We'll carry on another time. But you've got an important job to do, and we've got a huge sum of money in the safe. You know the ropes by now, I'm sure. Yep. We're all anti-backed up the safe, the balls, the purple velvet bag, the green velvet bag, and the keys. The stage, sir, is yours. The first job is to pick up the purple velvet bag at your leisure and have a good old rummage around at the 50 balls they're in, and pluck one out and point it at James, and then we move on to the second stage of the draw.
27.
Ball number 27. Ball number 2. Now you have ball number 28.
Yeah.
Now that would have been an irony, wouldn't it? And the first time that ever would have happened. But ball number 27 has been out once before this season, and it belongs to, and I can almost hear the cheers over there from Malcolm. It's the Old Malt Gang. Malcolm Pearce, Barry Larkin, Russell Miller, Gary Ambrose and Monia Pearce. Which of those venerable parties are you going to be this evening? Surely it's got to be Big Malc, hasn't it?
It's got to be Big Malc, because they've probably done the jacket justice like I have.
I can hear him now. Malcolm! Malcolm! It's coming, yeah. Okay, ready? So, the next job. There are 4 keys. There they are, the 4 keys. 4 keys, 4 keys, 4 candles. In they go. The green velvet bag. I'm now going to leave that on the table for you, Mr. Chenery, to be Malcolm Pearce this evening, and pluck one of them out, chuck the bag over to me, and if it's the right one, then that group of people is £2,250 better off. The safe is all nicely shut up. If it's the right key, it'll be the pointy bit to the top, turn it to the left, the wheel to the right, and bingo. Is it 8th time lucky?
I think it's 8th time lucky. Going for the record, so I always want to be a record holder.
Is it 8th time lucky? No. Oh, it's not. The Old Malt Gang, we thought this was the day because it had everything going for it, didn't it? The 3-1 win, the ground safety officer, blue tie, blue jacket. It had everything written in the stars somehow. Malc! Sorry, mate. Next time.
Yeah, sorry,
this is the one.
It's quite right.
I better prove it now, hadn't I? Otherwise, we're in a world of trouble.
Being responsible for security,
pointy bit to the top.
The safe.
It would have been the right key. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's 8 consecutive draws. Mike, thank you very much for doing that. Thank you for
thank
everything
you.
that you do for the club as well. It's greatly appreciated.
problem at all.
Really, really, without the work that you do, we couldn't actually operate a game here. So thank you for all your efforts.
And sorry to Malcolm and his
Yeah,
team.
the old malt gang, I'm afraid. We thought this might be the day, but no. Malcolm, Barry, Russell, Gary, Monya, not to be, I'm afraid. You get the £50 consolation prize, which probably means that Kiddo will get another £50 ball for his ball donor work. And we move on. We've got Notts County away, don't forget, 5 o'clock kick-off on Tuesday. Get in front of those TV sets and cheer on the boys at Meadow Lane on BT Sport on Tuesday evening. We're back here on Saturday. I think it's Weymouth.
Yep.
Weymouth at home next Saturday. That'll also be draw number 19 and a minimum of £2,450 up for grabs, plus any other goals scored by designated goal scorers in the interim. Keep up your fabulous support. The stream numbers were really high today. We're almost on the homeward stretch now, and your support is going to be even more important than ever. And I know the boys appreciate it, and Freed from Desire is still blaring out of the tunnel. So another good day to be a Sutton United fan. Love you all. Support that team going forward, and remember, it's forever Amber.